Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to see you all. I'm Higdon, Chancellor of Ozarks Technical Community College, and I want to welcome you to the new Parson Student Union. How many of you like this building? We turned the thermostat down to 0 about 8 this morning. And when I walked through about 8:30, I had to run outside and get warm. So we tried to keep it cool, knowing we'd have a big crowd today. Please direct your attention to the screens for a video to kick us off.
Nobody does it better than OTC. I mean, believe me, I've heard from all the universities, why does OTC get this or get that, you know, and the reality of it is because they got the best game in town.
When it comes to the project, when it comes to the U, it was an impressive project. We have, as an institution, founded in 1990, opened in 1991, I have spent years just trying to meet the demands for students as well as area employers. And we've just been keeping that pace just to meet that need. And now what's really amazing about this point in our life cycle, the institution's life cycle, is that now we're able to finally open a building dedicated to students.
You need that cohesiveness of not just coming to campus, doing your classes and going away. You need that ability to engage and to connect. And that is the beauty of that building, is it gives the student, no matter what their background, no matter what their goals, the same place to connect, to learn, and to thrive.
We really wanted input from around the institution. And quite honestly, when we were designing this project, we went to the picnics and we asked the students, what type of food do you want? What type of activities are you looking for? And they told us.
The one missing part of the master plan was this student gathering place. So the U will have spaces for gathering, have a food court, has a basketball court or multi-purpose court, fitness center, and then the third floor is all devoted to either workforce training rooms or academic services like the library and tutoring and learning. We broke ground in September 2024. While we initially asked for a $20 million state match, Governor Parson championed our vision and funded 95% of the $48 million project. He understood that Ozarks Tech will lead Southwest Missouri in education and workforce development for years to come.
Our whole goal with a lot of that money that come from the federal level was to do long-term investments. You know, it wasn't about doing programs that will be here in a year or two and they'll be gone. It would say, how can we really use this money to make an impact on the future of Missouri? If you really looked at what it's going to take to build the workforce of tomorrow, it's going to be through institutions like this.
Before we get started with the program, we have a few people we'd really like to introduce. We appreciate you all being here. First of all, we'd like to recognize Governor Parson for being here, but our former First Lady, Teresa Parson, on the front row, thank you for being here. We walked the Parsons through this building a few weeks ago. It looks a little different, doesn't it? It's a lot cooler, too. I want to acknowledge our Board of Trustees, and if you would just hold your applause to the end. On stage, and you'll hear from her in a few minutes, is Katie Moore, Chair of the Board of Trustees, Mr. J. Howard Fisk, Vice Chair, John Chindry, Secretary, Larry Snyder, Treasurer, Paul Sunday, Member, Paula Adams, Representative to the Foundation Board. Can we give them all a round of applause? And sitting with the Board of Trustees is our President Emeritus, our founding president, Dr. Norman Myers. Without Dr. Myers and the pioneers and the founding board in 1990, we would not be standing here today. This campus would not be the campus you see. They bought 82 pieces of property in this little area just to make this part of the campus. So Dr. Myers, thank you for all you've done for Ozarks Tech. You've met my bosses, but you need to meet my other boss, my wife, Molly Higdon. With us today is our foundation board, without whom a lot of this building would not have been possible. You'll be hearing from our board chair in a few minutes, Jeff Childs. And then we have a huge number of our foundation board here, and I'm going to call them by name, but we would ask that you hold your applause to the end. Mary Beth Hartman, Rosa Davis, Cheryl Hurdle, Adam Pyle, Keith LaFerriere, Brad Irwin, Keith Calhoun, Randall Wallace, Bill Hammett, Jim Towery, Ryan Murray, Von Sil Elmer, Jennifer Canale, Jerry Cash, Rick Hewlett, Bob Biney, Judy Breeding, Howard Bailey, and Jenny Carr. And Kevin Osborne, who was just at the bottom of the list. So Kevin, sorry to be... And he has a name space too, so that's a double miss on my part. We have with us our Commissioner of Higher Education, Ben Boggs. We also have the President of the Missouri Community College Association, Brian Milner. And I should correct that, as of June, with his graduation from Texas Tech, Dr. Brian Milner. And we have elected officials with us, Representative John Black, Representative Bill Owen, Representative Betsy Fogel, and Representative Melanie Stinnett. Let's give them a round of applause. County Commissioner Rusty McLaughlin, Springfield Mayor Jeff Schrog, and Don Currents, Mayor of Ozark. Thank you all for being here. And we have one retired senator, Senator Jay Watson. I wanted to recognize him. Thank you for being here, Senator. As you saw from the video, it's a team project to make this thing come to life. At the center of all this was our Executive Vice Chancellor for Administrative Services, Rob Rector. Stand up, Rob. This is the 49th straight day Rob has been in this building, counting Saturdays and Sundays. I do not believe that there is any better administrative services team in the country. Thank you, Administrative Services. In addition to our people, we had some great partners. I want to thank Inform Architecture, who designed the building and plaza, DeWitt and Associates, who serves as general contractor for the project, Dake Wells Architecture, who designed the Judy and Mike Breeding Clock Tower, and Trinity Stainless, who manufactured and installed the clock tower. Let's give them a big hand. There were countless other subcontractors, engineers, and craftsmen who also contributed to this project. If you help make this project come to life, internal or external to OTC, would you please stand and be recognized? Some of those folks were already standing in the back, so you kind of blended in, but we know who you are. Long before the construction began, the vision for this building started with our Board of Trustees. Our Board of Trustees leads with vision. They lead with purpose, and they make sure that everything we do is about supporting our communities and the communities we serve. Every project we do, every decision we make, every program we start is based on what is good for our communities, what's good for the economic development of Central Southwest Missouri, and what's best for our students and our voters. And I really appreciate our Board of Trustees and their commitment. Now, to speak to you on behalf of the Board of Trustees is our Board Chair, Katie Moore.
Thank you, Dr. Higdon. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the Ozarks Tech Board of Trustees, it's my pleasure to welcome you to the celebration of the opening of the U. Community has been at the heart of Ozarks Tech since its founding more than 35 years ago. While the college has evolved and grown over the years, The commitment to our students and the community has remained constant and helped build strong relationships within our campuses and throughout our region. Ozarks Tech has worked hard to earn the trust of the communities we serve by listening, making thoughtful decisions, and delivering on our commitments. In return, our state and local leaders, employers, community partners, and friends of the college have continued to believe in the mission and support the college and invest in our students. The U is the latest example of what that shared commitment to building community can make. Every student who walks onto this campus comes with a goal, but reaching a goal takes more than simply showing up for class. When a student makes a connection with a classmate, a tutor, a faculty member, or someone who simply takes the time to ask how they are doing, they are more likely to stay connected to the college and focused on their goals. And when students feel connected, they are more likely to stay engaged, persist, and ultimately succeed. That is why the U matters. It creates more opportunities for those connections to happen. Connections for community building while bringing together the resources students need to stay on track and complete their education. A conversation over lunch or a study session between classes may seem like an ordinary part of the college experience, but those moments can make the difference between a student feeling like they are navigating college alone or knowing that there are other people that are invested in their success. And that success extends far beyond the campus. Our graduates become skilled employees our businesses need, build careers, and support families throughout the region. When we invest in our students, we are also investing in the future of Southwest Missouri. There are many people who helped bring us here today and bring this building to completion, and Dr. Higdon has mentioned several. And as you go through the building, you'll note that there are a lot of names on the building, and we're proud of that. We're proud of the community support that all came together to make this possible. Today, again, as you tour the building, you'll see those names, but also imagine the connections that are going to take place in the community building that's going to happen in this space. We're proud to celebrate the opening of the U with you, and we're grateful for everyone who made it possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Katie. The Ozarks Tech Foundation has supported this project from its inception. They connected us with those who saw the vision and wanted to help make it a reality. Without the support of the foundation, the mission of the college would not be what it is today. Our foundation has been integral in the success of this college from the beginning. When I came here in 2006, 20 years ago, our foundation was ready to thrive. And with the help of an outstanding board, the foundation has raised immense amount of money for programs, for buildings, and for students. One of the things that I am proudest of is our Student Emergency Fund, which runs through our foundation, and the majority of our employees give to that fund. That means our employees are investing in the students who come every day to school, who have health, hunger, and hygiene issues, who may need a gas card, who may need a bus pass, or who may need repair on a car. And our students are directly helped by our employees through our foundation. Our foundation board is a board of doers, a board of givers, a board of dreamers, and we appreciate each and every one of them. And now to speak for the foundation board, I call on Jeff Childs, chair of the Ozarks Tech Foundation Board of Directors.
Thank you, Dr. Higdon. You know, some days you just wake up and you're very proud to be part of Springfield and this community, and this is one of those days. I can see everyone here with smiles on their faces, and I'm just excited to be part of this day with you. And on behalf of the Ozark Tech Foundation Board, I want to say thank you. Thank you to our donors for being here, for your support, and also thank you to the taxpayers of the state of Missouri. You know, over the last 32 years, I've spent my career going all over Southwest Missouri trying to find the best pieces of real estate to put my name in front of, and I'll be damned if the governor didn't beat me on this one. What a wonderful facility, Governor, to have your name associated with. And I can't I think I speak on behalf of everyone here to say I can't think of anybody better. You know, you've always been a strong supporter to our community in Southwest Missouri, but also a strong supporter and visionary for workforce development, and that's what we're here for today. You know, great real estate has three things that accompany it: its location, its functionality of use, and the return that it provides to its stakeholders. All you have to do is look around this building and see that this facility checks all three boxes. You know, it couldn't have a better location in Southwest Missouri than the heart of the Queen City. And I'm very proud of its location because it's at the storefront, in the forefront of our community. And I think, Rob, you did a great job on behalf of our foundation. Thank you. You know, secondly, the functionality is important, and this whole facility was designed for the most important asset we have on this campus, our students. And without them, there's no point in being here. And you know, the building itself, along with the students, are going to create a tremendous return for not only Southwest Missouri, but for all of Missouri, in a strong workforce, a healthy workforce, and a workforce that cares about giving back to its community, like our taxpayers and the donors in this room did. So to all of you involved in the financing and the construction of this beautiful facility, your generosity is a powerful statement to the life-changing mission of this college, and we thank you and we're grateful. So I would just say this in ending: thank you for being here today. Thank you for all that made the investment, and may God bless you. Take care.
"20 years ago, I came to this college as a newcomer to Missouri. And one of the first people I met in the legislature was Representative and former Sheriff Mike Parson. And we developed a friendship very quickly. I learned that if he told you something, he was going to do it, and he was going to be faithful to what he said. And that is a huge thing in life today. So as a legislator, we worked together. As a senator, I went to see him one day, and I told him I had a problem. OTC was the lowest funded community college in the state. How many employees have ever heard me say that? And he said, let's do something about it. And I remember a meeting. He called Jay Wasson into the same office. And we met with our friends from over in the northeast part of the eastern part of the state who had all the money, and said, we got to come up with a plan. And thanks to Governor Parson and Senator Wasson and some others, we had a equity funding program that went a long way toward bringing us to equity. We're not there yet, Commissioner Boggs. But we have the legislature this last year has directed the Department of Higher Education and Workforce Development to come up with a formula. We're working on that formula. Representative Owen, there you are. Our newly appointed House Budget Chair. Congratulations, Bill. The speaker designee, Alex Riley, couldn't be with us today, but we got our speakers. So now's the time for Southwest Missouri to get our funding corrected through the formula. So I know I can speak for President Williams at MSU and the Crowder president and OTC's chancellor, and said we're ready to work with the Department of Higher Ed, with the legislature, to get equity funding brought up to where it should be in the very near future. So now that commercial is over. But I couldn't go without bragging on Governor Parson, because he was instrumental in getting us our first formula. And now we're working on hopefully the last formula. Governor Parson, as governor, came to the office at a difficult time in the history of the state and went directly into COVID. I watched his daily press conference from right outside his office every day. And he spoke to the people, he directed the offices, he did a phenomenal job. And then we had a federal program that put federal dollars into the state. And the governor directed that those dollars go to one-time projects, one-time money that changed the economic development trajectory of our state. And we went to the governor with this project, and we asked for $20 million on a $40 million building. And he said he thought he could do that. And then I got a call from his staff, and they said, we think we can do better. And you know, with inflation from COVID, the thing had grown to 48. He said, we can do 46. I said, you got a deal. What I didn't tell him is anybody who does that for this college deserves to have their name on this building. And I consulted with our Board of Trustees, and we named this building the Michael L. Parson Student Union. It's the premier spot on campus. I think it's the premier higher education building in the state, and I can think of no better name to have on it than Mike Parsons. So, Governor, we'd love to hear from you, but congratulations on your new building.
Wow, thank you, and thanks everybody for being here today. I've decided to lengthen my speech, which I don't have, because as soon as I get done talking, I got to go outside. So I think the longer I talk, the more we get to stay inside here today. So let me do a couple of quick introductions, if I could, real quick. I know Teresa has been introduced, but also somebody that doesn't get to go out with me very much at events like this. My daughter's also with us today. Stephanie, can you just say hello to the crowd? So Stephanie is the assistant principal at Kickapoo, and she said, now, Dad, can you give me a ride back to work? I got to get back to work afterwards. I said, well, can we at least get ice cream? She says, no, I got to get back. So I did mention it to your big boss that's here, sitting behind you. Ice cream's okay, so don't worry about it. She's a nice lady and everything. There's, I got family and friends here also today that have just been dear friends and family that's been with me a long time. But there's a couple other people I want to mention real quick. And I don't know where Jamie's at. Jamie, where'd you go to? Jamie, if you and Kelly, would you stand up just a minute? Both of you just stand up for just a second. Yeah. Okay. So you just keep standing. I feel like I'm still your boss. So if it hadn't been for these two ladies, Kelly was the deputy chief of staff, and Jamie took over a very difficult job of doing the financial side of the governor's office. And I'll be honest with you, if these two ladies hadn't been part of what they were doing at the time, this facility would have never happened, to be right honest about it. So I know I'm getting credit. I know I'm getting my name on the building. But if it hadn't been for these two right here, this building wouldn't have happened either, because they were the ones that actually had the purse string. So I love you both. Thank you both for being here today. Thank you. Now, about Hal. All these speakers had notes and everything when they come up here today, and I thought, I don't think so. I never did use them when my staff used to give them to me anyhow, so I didn't think I wanted to start today. So how many of you know what Hal did before his education career started? Anybody know? I don't either, but here's what I think he was. I think the guy was a street hustler. I think he played some shell game on the corner, because every time he come into my office, it's like, I don't have any more money to give you, Hal. You know, did you check your back pocket? I said, no, that's my money. I never seen anybody advocate for a institution, a university, a campus as much as Hal did. And I'll just tell you right now. And I mean, he taught me so many things in my time as a public servant in Jeff City. And I could tell you, at the forefront of everything is why I have such a great deal of respect for him. It's always about the future. It is always about that workforce development. And when we talk about workforce, I know a lot of guys in the room today, they're business guys or business leaders. But workforce is not about you. Workforce is about the future. It's about making sure some child goes to early childhood development, that they start working towards their way to a career, to live the American dream like all of us have got to do in here that's here today. That's what it's about. But you got to have leaders. You got to have a good board. You got to have a good president, and you got to have people that support these institutions. And if you look at of OTC, when you look at this facility, when I first come here, we were always talking about southern states. We was talking about Tennessee or the Carolinas, trying to compare. I'm going to tell you something. When I become governor, I don't want to compare to those other states anymore. I want other states to be asking, how are we doing it here in Missouri? And that was my main objective the whole time as governor. And I do believe when you put OTC out in front, this is the model for the rest of the nation, not just Missouri, but for the rest of the nation. And we all are the ones behind this and help it be successful. But if you want these young kids to have an opportunity someday, it has to be through institutions like this, and it takes good leadership. I got to be the governor at some of the most extraordinary times in our state's history. But I will also tell you some of the toughest times in our state's history. But there were so many accomplishments that I got to see, and as I come here today, I get to see what started out on the drawing board is right here today, the completion of it, where we're all here today. And I think those are the greatest things I'll take from the governor's office, is what we did for the future of this state. You know, it's never about people like me anymore, at my age bracket. It's always about these young kids that are here. It's about the students that are here and what they're going to do and how much more they're going to do than we did. And I think we all have to understand how important that is. And look, who don't want to come in this building? Who don't want to have an event here? How would you like to be a student here and get to walk in here and says, hey, look what we got here? Because trust me, every other community college in the state of Missouri wishes they had this. And I can tell you that right now. And so that being said, one of the things I always used to say when I was governor, I'd say in closing. So in closing, here's something you all need to know. 85% of the audience listens to you when you get to that point. So in closing, today I get to have my name on a building for me and my family, but it was always about tomorrow for me. It was always about how do you make the state better? How do you make everybody else's lives a little better? The entire time I'd done that. And I think when you really look at the history of who we are in this country, even in troubled times, I believe our forefathers, when they all started this, and they hand down some basic documents, the Declaration of Independence, the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, and all of those things got passed down from generation to generation to generation. And here we all sit today in a wonderful facility with air conditioning, with the opportunity for tomorrow. I tell you, it is our time, mine and your time, to make sure the next generations have the same opportunities that we've all had. And we're going to do it by teaching our children, giving them an education, giving them an opportunity at the workforce, and giving them a future that they can be proud of. And more importantly, for us grandparents, that they can stay right here in Missouri and enjoy life like we've enjoyed it. It was an honor and privilege to be the 57th governor of the great state of Missouri. God bless you. Thank you all for having me here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor Parson. Now, before we wrap up, please turn your attention back to the screens for one more video before we close.
Traditionally, many, many years ago, the tech ed health science student was much older. We're now serving the 18 to 22-year-old really in a major way. We know that the engaged student is the more successful student. Students who use our tutoring and learning center, who work out in the fitness center, who are involved in clubs, are more likely to stick with it.
Putting them in space where you have that natural engagement and conversation is really vital. It's just an introduction to student engagement that we've never quite had before. And we just think it's a very special addition to the Ozarks Tech community.
The Student U is going to be transformational for Ozarks Tech. It's a place where a person learns and grows, meets people, develop friendships that will last a lifetime. They learn who they are, what their interests are, and learn to be leaders in the community.
I'd venture to say there's not many community colleges in the whole country that have something that nice for their students. If they can be proud of where they're learning and drive their parents and friends by this campus and show them what they're a part of, it promotes pride. And that carries right on down the line to the future students.
This has evolved into not just a campus, but a true student-first college life. People that are alumni will be really proud of how this campus continues to give back to the community, and it continues to advance the same mission that it had when it started 25 years ago. It might look a little different, but the mission is the same.
And you see what this campus has done over the years, how much progress has been made here, how many people are coming here, and how many people are going to get to use this facility and build a new future and new lives here in the state of Missouri. And really, OTC's really on the map, not only of Missouri, but of the nation.
Thank you all for being here today. But before we close, a few housekeeping items. Please continue to enjoy refreshments from our food vendor partners. If you're interested in a guided tour, please gather in the Bailey Family Welcome Center. Otherwise, you may take self-guided tours at your convenience. A shameless plug, the Eagle store is open and ready to serve you. They take all major credit cards. They're running a 20% off sale today only. So get your goodies before you get away. And before I talk about the ribbon cutting, I just want to personally thank everyone in the room, whether you're an elected official, a board member, a foundation member, a donor, a friend, a family member, a community member. We're here for you. Without you, we don't exist. Without you, this building doesn't exist. And we appreciate all that you've done for your community college and for our students for decades to come. Now, typically for the ribbon cutting, we would invite everyone to join us. But due to the heat, we're asking only those who've been instructed to be in the photo to come outside. The rest of you get to stay in the air conditioning. Our photographer extraordinaire is going to be quick. We're going to take the pictures and get you either on your way or right back into the air conditioning. Enjoy the building. Start on the third floor, work your way down. We got a free throw competition in the gym, in the Cox Health gym, I should say. And we've got mock cocktails on the third floor, and just enjoy yourself, and I hope you all come back many, many times. Thank you.